back in the kitchen, and today I'm going to be making my grandfather's fresh maple syrup. This is not real maple syrup. This is fresh maple syrup. Long story short, my grandfather was really good at making steaks and pancakes, and part of making pancakes is syrup. And as a child, I thought that my grandfather made fresh maple syrup. And I didn't want this 100% real maple syrup from a bottle that my mom bought. I wanted my grandfather's fresh maple syrup. And it wasn't until I was much older and found out that real maple syrup is made by boiling down the sap from maple trees that maybe what my grandfather was cooking, though fresh, was not real. What we're going to be using today is Mapeline. Mapeline is a flavorant that is similar in flavor to maple flavor. You can get real maple flavor extract, but instead it's not from maple trees. It's from a variety of other vegetable matters that happens to taste similar to maple syrup. We're going to follow the thick syrup recipe that's on the box, because that's closest to what I remember my grandfather doing. Now, I'm going to follow it exactly like it is on the box, but after making it, I realized that my grandfather did something slightly different, so I'll be giving you that recipe as well. The recipe on the box is mostly corn syrup. That's 1.5 cups corn syrup plus 1/4 cup sugar plus 2 tablespoons water and 1/2 teaspoon Mapeline Flavor. You boil it for 2 minutes and it thickens as it cools. Now, I think what my grandfather did was more like 1 cup corn syrup, 1 cup sugar, a little bit more than 2 tablespoons of water, and probably still the 1/2 teaspoon of Mapeline. So it'll get you something similar, but a little bit less corn syrupy and more cane sugary. Now, once you put the heat to this, you cannot walk away, because when it starts boiling, it really starts boiling. Now, you can crank up your stove, get it to that point where it's starting to bubble, and then turn down your stove. But you want to make sure that the pot that you're cooking in has plenty of room for the sugar bubbles to expand. Otherwise, you have a hot, sticky mess that gets onto the burners and causes a lot of smoke in your kitchen. So don't make that mistake. Use a bigger pot than you think you need to. Unlike in making a caramel where you've got just the sugar crystals melting in the heat, because of the corn syrup, you don't have to worry about agitating it. So go ahead and stir it and make sure that everything is incorporated and not scalding on the bottom. It thickens as it cools and it will get a skin on the top. Don't worry about that. It's still tasty. Put it into a nice looking container and let it cool while you're making your pancakes. Now, I don't make great pancakes like my grandfather. I can sometimes make decent French toast, but here I just have some toasted bread that I'm going to try it out on. And with a little bit of butter, it is absolutely delicious. It's sweet, and it's a way of making a maple-like syrup. I would say you could use this as a nice flavorant in other things, and it's definitely good on top of French toast or pancakes.